Good morning, kids. Today we're checking out a brand new video from Popcross Studios of turning Pokemon into fantasy ARMORS. Now, let's hop in, and I'll let him explain it all.
Over on the YouTube channel Subjectively, Magic Jack Art, or Jack Burke, has done a whole series of turning Pokemon into sets of armor, which is a series
Okay.
that directly inspired my own series of turning various things into fantasy armor. And so today, for my
That is
second
badass.
episode in my Pokemon Grand Prix, where I'm doing 3 different Pokemon videos on 3 Monday videos in a row, I've decided to finally do my own take on Pokemon fantasy
Oh.
armors. Plus, it's something
And
that's
that explains the Pokemon as aliens video. Okay.
been suggested by a bunch of my subscribers before, but most specifically by Shay the Shark. I'll also link in the description Subjectively's whole playlist of Pokemon armors. You might want to go check that out. Also give me ideas in the comments for what you want from the 3rd episode of my Pokemon Grand Prix. But for now, fantasy armors.
Let's go.
Hit like
If you feel like it.
Subscribe if you feel like. But either way,
Enjoy the show. I completely messed up.
Hey, Vasilia, I didn't know you was here today. Oh, that's a good-looking armor. Is that Heath in there? You bet, Benny. Just giving my new suit a test drive.
Damn.
Fits great, Vasilia.
Like the buzz.
Did you ever doubt that it would, Heath? As you know, Benjamin, when Heath uses his abilities, a common side effect is that he causes strange weather patterns
Hold on, folks. Be right back. And we're back.
to occur around
There
him,
we go.
including lightning to strike. This suit is intended to help him more consciously conduct electricity whenever he so chooses. Hey, that's a good idea.
Clever.
I always thought it would be cool for you to get more out of that lightning power of yours. Maybe you could even give yourself a new superhero name, like Black Lightning, or Static Shock, or Storm, or Electro, or Aqualad.
Aqualad?
Why Aqualad? Oh, wait, I'm just thinking of a list of black superheroes with electric powers Champ was telling me about. Never mind, Hurricane Reynolds has a good ring to it anyway. So, was this armor made from some kind of dragon in your world, silly? It was not, no. Though there are many electric dragons and creatures I could have crafted this armor from, but was actually partially made from the hide of gigantic monster Heath slayed in his own world. Yeah, it was this big old kaiju called Buzzvolt. And the thing was constantly shooting electricity off itself.
Okay.
Every other kaiju slayer was having a real hard time getting close to the thing. Even ones in the giant mech armors you made for us, Benny. They were just getting too zapped up to function properly. So finally I got called in, and the electricity off this thing was just charging me up even more. Gave me the idea to bring parts of its hide to Vasilia after I slayed the thing, so she could make me an armor out of it. Was honestly quite simple armor to build, barely needed any magic to bring out the creature's former abilities and allow Heath to use them. Now he can use armor to absorb electricity and store it for later use. Absorbing electricity could potentially...
He literally now has the ability Lightning Rod. Love it.
him to use his regular abilities for longer periods of time. Gotta be careful wearing this thing in modern worlds, though. I walked too close to an outlet a few minutes ago, and the suit automatically started sucking electricity right out of the wall. Could probably cause some power outages pretty easy in this thing. Still, though, that does sound like a pretty sweet upgrade power-wise.
Damn right it is!
What kind of favors did you have to do for your girlfriend here to get her to build this for you, huh, Heath? Well... Actually, Benjamin, we have not told people this yet, but Heath and I are no longer in a romantic relationship.
Oh,
what? For real? Yeah,
Sucks.
but it was a mutual decision. No hard feelings on either end. Yes, as it turns out, a relationship can only last so long when the only thing two people have in common, really, is that they are both incredibly confident and attractive.
Well, you know what? I guess that makes a whole lot of sense. And that's confident and attractive, not really a strong thing to build off of. Love the suit, though. Pretty damn good.
You two called it quits, huh?
Primarina? Really?
To be totally honest, I kinda often forgot that you two was actually dating in the first place. No offense. You know, I was supposed to just be coming here to grab some snacks, then getting back to Dresden, who was telling me about some weird toilet monsters that I'm still convinced he might have been making up.
Check that video out.
What? He can wait. Now I kinda just want to hear about more of the armors that you done built lately, silly. What else you been making? Well, actually, I have recently had excuse to practice building water-based armor once again. Something I very much enjoy doing. For women with very fitting name for such a suit. Marine. This chick honestly looked almost exactly like Vasilia, but pale and with blue hair instead of red.
Oh.
That is correct. She was almost as attractive as myself, and had beautiful singing voice.
Others in her shoreside village had often referred to her as a siren because she would sit on the rocks
Yeah,
near
that makes
water
sense.
and practice her singing, often attracting passing ships.
Hey, I used to do something like
Oh,
that when I was a
siren.
kid, except instead of passing ships, it was older kids on bikes, and instead of singing on a rock, I would pop out from behind some garbage cans and just scream at them. They'd fall off their bikes, then I'd try and run away before they could catch me and beat me up.
Oh, Benny,
Good times.
you are a
Yeah,
little
Benny,
devil.
that sounds like the exact same thing.
Anyway, Marine's village has been having problems with aquatic creatures coming near their shores and consuming all the fish that her people used to catch for food. To ward them off, she needed an armor that would allow her to face undersea creatures on their own terrain. And member of her village
So you made something that allows her to breathe on the water?
was familiar
Or
with
something?
my work, so sent her in my direction. She came to me and was my favorite kind of client. One who needs armor that is practical for combat purposes, but is also equally as interested in having armor that accents their physical features.
You like building
Nice.
armors for smoking hot people? That makes them look even more smoking hot. I get that.
Indeed.
Oh, yeah.
This time I had a new technique I wanted to try for aquatic armor. If you recall, I have told you previously that I have been visiting another dimension that is like my own but with even more magical beasts and beings. Well, there I acquired the hide of a magical jellyfish creature and was able to use that to create magical lining for around the neck and upper chest of this armor. That allows the wearer to breathe underwater. I also added large reinforced shells to forearms that can double as shields against whatever creature she may come up against.
Oh,
That's
talking
pretty
about
clever.
that, did you ever tell Benny about that one armor you finished recently that was basically just made out of a bunch of shields for that Komodo dragon riding guy?
Ah, I have not, but we can do that next. To conclude on this suit, I made
Komodo.
much of her
Is that
armor
it?
out of scales
Komodo?
of sea monster hides I had from previous armors I'd made, and gave her rounded short swords that was nothing flashy but would do the job. Now, as she walks through her village
nice.
to the waters, everyone she passes cannot help but stare at her beauty, elevated by her Kuznet original armor.
And was she able to kill the monsters
Gotta love
that
the
came to her
original.
village's waters?
I do not know. Once I confirmed that all the residents of her village were in awe of her looks in my suit, that was when I stopped seeking updates.
Oh, come on. You gotta Oh, hold on, folks. We'll be right back. And we're back. Let's finish. Okay, we're barely even halfway. Next up, it's... Oh, wait. Yeah, they already said. Jingmao? I don't remember how to pronounce the damn name.
The armor that
That
Heath
guy.
was referring to, that looks somewhat as though it was made from shields, was one I built for man traveling to mainland, his journey having started in Hawaii. He had traveled
cool.
across other regions of the world, and was first being I have ever seen to have tamed a dire Komodo dragon, which he rode as his mount. These
That
creatures
is killer.
are very hostile, not one many would risk attempting to ride.
Hey, I actually sort of did that same thing once too. Is this gonna be like the Screaming at Bikers story where it's barely similar at all? This one is
Barely
more
similar?
similar, because I actually did ride a Komodo dragon once, very briefly. That's why I'm banned from all the zoos in New Jersey now. But to
Oh,
be fair to
God.
me, they didn't have any signs anywhere that made it clear it was not a petting zoo. Didn't turn out so
Benny!
good for me though anyway. It's because of that day that now my big toe on my left foot is mechanical. That lizard's mouth was a lot faster than I thought.
I was not aware
Shit.
you had mechanical toe. Does this toe have any abilities like the arm you built for Dr. Champagne?
Nah, I tried putting a rocket booster in it once, but trying to fly balancing on one toe is not as easy as it sounds.
No
That does
duh.
not sound easy at all, Benjamin.
You know, I forgot that when you guys talk about armors, you barely end up talking about the armors at all.
Oh, yes, the armor. Man was very brave warrior who wanted armor for his hunt of mythical creature called a mo'o. Is Hawaiian legendary shape-shifting lizard gecko thing that I don't believe has
mo'o.
ever been
Okay.
confirmed as real, but this man claims to have seen one with his own eyes. He stated it was his intent to travel the world for a year, honing his skills and preparing, then returning to Hawaii to slay the beast. And he specifically
That's
requested
badass.
armor that would not be quiet. He wanted his opponent to hear him coming, as he was very confident in his fighting prowess.
Okay, so this guy was so confident he said, nah. Don't make me an armor that will make me quiet. Make me loud as fuck. You know what? I gotta respect a guy like that. Give me the loud armor.
But that sounds like your kind of guy, silly. Sorry, Heath, too soon? It's all good, Benny. I actually said the same thing to her.
Yes,
shit.
he was confident and attractive, but did not take enough pride in his appearance for my liking. Before I put the Kuznet original armor on him, he was essentially wearing dirty, stained rags.
Oh yeah, that sounds more like my kind of guy. So how did you make a not quiet armor for him? You glue a bunch of parrots to it or something?
I
Parrots?
did not, no. I simply made armor from overlapping plating
Don't use
that would
parrots.
rattle like Snake when he ran or shook vigorously enough. Even gave him large battle axe that he could clang against armor to make loud noise to alert others of his presence and threaten his prey with it.
So yeah, now he literally has the move clanging scales.
Also
Love it.
obviously made him look like much more impressive physical specimen. So in final fitting, he was only concerned with the practical elements of the armor. Did not even mention how it looked.
Well, how did it look?
How do you think, Benjamin? It was made by a Kuznet. It looked beautiful.
Like armor built for the gods themselves. And we're back. Oh, here we go. Komo'o. That's how to pronounce the name. Oh, and I'm kind of covering it up. Hold on. Let me move up here for just a moment. And yeah, there you go. Komo'o. I guess you would almost kind of pronounce it like a comma in a way. But, you know, with an O sound. Alright, let me move on back down. And boom. Fourth armor. Here we go.
It is kind of a bummer when the client
Whoa. Galarian Zapdos. Really? That's the fourth one you chose? I'm not questioning your choice, but I'm questioning how you'll do it. Show us what you got.
That's how nice looking an armor is. I know I've made some mech armors for some pretty ungrateful folks in the past too. Not most people, but you know, it happens sometimes. Well, yeah, I can see why that'd be annoying, but isn't the fun of making cool stuff for a living enough of a reward on its own? Well, yeah, sure, but I can enjoy making cool stuff while still wanting to be showered with praises for how cool the stuff is that I make. Finish us off with a story of a client who was grateful, Vasilia.
Well, one client I created armor for recently did not seem like one who would normally be abundantly appreciative, but she did turn out to be. She was a warrior who shared some resemblance to a favorite client of mine from the past.
Chun-Li.
In the sense that she had mighty legs, able to kick a full-grown man to death with one blow to the head. She could also run faster than almost any human I have seen, unaided.
You gotta like the thighs, bro. You gotta like the thighs.
But was somewhat lacking in upper body strength department.
Yeah, that's a common problem for sure. Folks like to talk about how lots of guys will skip leg day, but I know a lot of women who will also skip every day but leg day. Get a rockin' gluteus caboteus, if you know what I mean. I definitely do know what you mean, but you're never gonna hear me complaining about that.
Yes, well, who needs exercise when you can compensate with a beautiful suit of armor? This client needed to be able to run quickly and...
I mean, you do kind of need exercise a little bit so you could fit in the armor. Otherwise, you... well, can't wear it, and then it's just gonna be over the gathering dust.
Use her legs, but also wanted ample protection on upper body and arms. Also requested a sword of some variety that was light and very nimble, and also as aerodynamic as possible.
Like a rapier.
Most swords pretty aerodynamic?
Have you not seen the sword I made for friend Caitlin? Turn this blade sideways and it may as well be a door. Anyhow, I suggested to women that I give her a rapier, the most aerodynamic blade possible, and she agreed it was a good idea. With blades so thin and light, she could quickly run up behind opponents and impale them before they even noticed her coming.
Oh, wait a second. Is this the one where you realized later that you made an armor for this gal's brother a few years back?
Very good memory, Heath, yes. Partway through the build, she inquired as to whether I could add any features that would allow the armor to deflect electricity. I said this was possible, and when asked why she wanted this, she admitted that I had made armor for her brother, who now lives in another region of our world, and his armor gave him the ability to conduct electricity. Somewhat like the suit I've built for Heath, though my materials and magic were less impressive at the time. This woman wanted to be able to challenge her brother in combat, so I added feathers that would draw in and dissipate any electrical charges directed her way. Feathers used from the very dragons that I built her brother's suit from in the first place.
Oh, building
Ground
suits
fighting,
for
I
two
believe.
people who's gonna go up against each other. Who are you, me? I suppose is similar to things you have done in your shady past, Benjamin, but she was not some kind of supervillain as you have built armors for. She
I
was
am no
simply a
villain.
warrior who wanted to challenge opponents stronger than herself. Sure, whatever you say, silly. I'll let that one go since you and Testosterone Tommy here just broke up. We are both fine, Benjamin. As we
Just
said,
relax.
our separation was amicable. Alright, if you say so. Just watch out, cause the second Astra finds out that both of you is single, she's gonna be foaming at the mouth anytime she's around either of yous. Yeah, you're probably right about that, but
What?
honestly that's not that different from how she usually acts around us.
Oh boy, man, maybe I should be watching all of his videos, because, some characters I have never heard of. But anyway, I love the armor.
If you enjoyed this episode, you might want to check out the first episode of my Pokemon Grand Prix, turning Pokemon into aliens. Or if you want more of my Fantasy Armor episodes, you might like my famous video game characters as Fantasy Armors. And again, give me more Pokemon suggestions, either Pokemon I could use in another episode.
Hold on, before we actually finish this off, I want to go ahead and first move myself back over. There we go. And now, I'm going to choose my favorite armor and rank them from this video. Now, honestly, I am going to have to go with the Como armor as ranked number 1. Because I freaking love that dragon. I just love it. Every time I get it, in every game, I always keep it on the team. Second place, I'll give it to the Galarian Zapdos armor. Zapdos? The Galarian Zapdos armor. It's pretty damn good, and actually not too bad. Third place, I'll give it to the Primarina armor. Well, it's not too good to my liking, but it's not terrible either. And unfortunately, in 4th place, and 4th ranking, exact same thing I just said, it's gonna be the Electabuzz armor. It's good, but it's just Electabuzz. If it was now Electivire, the evolved form, then maybe it would be the Primarina one. But either way, that's my ranking. Let me know down in the comments below how you would all rank the armors.
Like this, or
There
other
we go.
Pokemon video ideas. But besides that, that's all for today, except of course we're ending this video on some kind of positive or
or uplifting
inspiring
note.
And the thought I want to leave people with today is a quote I read from a man named Greg Braden, who said that the ego says when everything falls into place, I'll be at peace. The spirit says, find your peace and everything will fall into place.
Oh,
you can find a sense of inner calm,
they
even in
complete
difficult
each other.
situations. That'll make it much easier for you to get to a place in your external world where everything's at peace as well. I hope that's inspiring. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video on Friday. Goodbye.
And folks, shut up. That's going to be the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all you folks next time when we flick on. Peace out.